Okay. Can everyone hear me now? Got a thumbs up?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. My internet is totally crashed over here. So we're joining via phone today. Isn't technology and the world fun? Welcome. Welcome to CommunityFIT and in particular a midweek desk stretch. I am sorry for being late today, everybody, but I'm happy everyone is able to join. Um, We're going to jump right in. For those of you who have been with us for a while, you know that we always start with some nervous system regulation. I know I need it today, and I'm assuming everyone else probably needs a little bit of that. And we're going to jump right into a movement session. We're going to do sort of a full body scenario today, since that's just where we're at. Okay, so if you have a favorite nervous system regulation thing that you do, go ahead and do that. It might be a breath work, it might be a sensory experience, it might just be a little meditation. For me today, I'm going to start off with what is called a physiological sigh. It's a double inhale followed by a single long exaggerated exhalation. That's inhale, inhale, long exhalation. I'm going to do 5 of them, but feel free to do however many you need to do. It's going to look and sound a lot like this. Again, that's an inhale, inhale, single exaggerated exhalation. 5 of them starting now. Just a few more. One or two more. Okay, let's start in the upper body. Let's bring your hands together, get them warmed up. We're going to take these nice warm hands. We're going to put them on the jaw. We're just going to kind of hold here and just let the warmth do the work. Maybe even allowing the top teeth and the bottom teeth to kind of separate from each other. And maybe the bottom jaw kind of wiggles or waggles back and forth just really gently. Almost like you're playing like the slowest game of ping pong between your hands, right and left. And if that feels good, you can continue to do that. And if not, it's like a little guppy breath. Like my mouth is going to slowly open and slowly close, slowly open and slowly close. Good. Bring your hands together, get them warmed. Place them in the back of the neck. Let the head fall backwards into the hands just a bit, and then rocking right and left, right and left. And it rocks to the right and kind of down a bit, rocks to the back, over to the left and down a bit. Good. From there, you're going to take your favorite hand, maybe even your dominant hand. I'm going to kind of place it underneath the collar of my shirt. Fingertips, this is my right hand. Right fingertips are on the left collarbone. Right thumb is on the right collarbone. And I'm going to just kind of press down on my collarbone a bit. And my other hand's going to go on top. So I'm pressing down on the collarbone. And then I'm going to lift my chin and lower. Now, the pressing down, sort of tractioning the front of the throat, it should feel stretchy or resistant or a little tough and sinewy. And back down. Now, if you want more, almost give yourself an underbite. Like you're going to send the bottom teeth in front of the top teeth. And as you lift, it's like your chin is going to try its best to touch the ceiling. And then relax that as you come back. If you're going to watch me from the side a bit, it's like I'm going to send my chin forward and lift. You might have heard of computer neck or tech neck, where we kind of sit forward and our face gets a little close. This counterbalances some of the neck tension that comes from that. Couple more. One more. And release. Take your fingers and grab a hold of your ears, not the earlobes, but sort of the cartilage portion. And we're going to pull gently out, east and west, right and left, and gently backwards towards the back of the head. On a scale of 1 to 10, we're pulling, we're tugging, we're manipulating at about a 2 or a 3. So it's not a lot, it's just enough. And then gently backwards. You're just going to hold. And release. Some little fingertip taps all over the face, the head, back of the head, jawline, hairline. Just kind of like little fingertip taps, little raindrops all over. Maybe even onto the chest. And then you're just going to take one hand, and it can either make a little fist or like a cup. You're just going to kind of cup, pat the chest. Taking some deep breaths. One or two more. And then just kind of notice any changes that may have happened from the neck, the jaw, any changes that have happened in the body. And then from there, just kind of indiscriminately starts to move the shoulders. They can roll together, can go backwards, they can go forward. One can go back, one can go forward, whatever the case may be. Just getting some movement. And then maybe taking your fingers and doing some finger flicks, like you're flicking off water. And if one of those feels really good, stay there. Do that. If not, maybe it's just like a shake. It's like shaking my arms up, down, forwards, backwards. It's kind of shaking it all out. Good. I'm going to scooch back just a bit. From there, we're going to take our right arm, reach our right arm forward, and then that right hand goes on your left shoulder. So my right elbow is going forward. My right hand is on the left elbow. My left hand then grabs a hold of my right elbow. If you looked from above, it looks like this, right here. I'm going to push my right elbow into my left hand so I can kind of feel like my shoulder blade has moved a little forward. Maybe my back feels gently rounded a bit. And then I'm going to get as tall as I can be. I'm going to hold there. And then I'm going to twist towards the left, still getting tall, elbow still pushing into hand. And I'm going to take a couple of breaths. Still tall, still elbow pushing into hand. I'm going to twist the other direction and take a couple of breaths. Back to center, relax. A little gentle shoulder roll. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. My left arm's going to reach out. Left hand goes on right shoulder. Right hand cups left elbow. Elbow pushes into hand, and I get tall. I'm going to twist to the right and take a couple of breaths. Elbow still pushing, still as tall as I am. Other direction, couple of breaths. Back to center, relax. Little bit of a shoulder roll. One hand grabs a hold of the opposite wrist, and then they tug. Feel a little contraction between the shoulder blades, and then release. Tug, release. One more tug, stay tugged. This time I'm going to continue to look forward. Both elbows go to the right, both elbows go to the left. I'm tugging and I'm twisting my shoulder girdle, but my spine and my head are going to stay relatively still. And then I'm just going to do like a little swinging action. Maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down. Up and down. Now, flip flop the hands, tug, same exercise. Little flick, little shoulder roll. Just notice any changes, any shifts that have gone on. Sit back in your chair. Take both hands, place them on the top of your belly. And this is my left over here. So both hands are going to travel to the left, down, up to the right. And I'm just going to make a little circle here. While I'm doing that, I'm going to try to relax my belly as much as I can. And maybe even thinking, relax your stomach, relax your intestines, relax your kidneys and your pancreas and your spleen. All of the bits and pieces that we would rather just kind of not like to think about. And relax. And just kind of have both hands on the belly. Just breathing into your own hands. One more breath. Seated upright. Go into your seaweed spine. Just traveling right and left, almost envisioning your spine as seaweed or sea kelp, blades of grass, if that's helpful. Just kind of noticing which segments of your spine are more or less willing to move. How is that sacrum and low back spine moving? How are the rib spine moving? How about that upper neck and head spine? How is that moving? Can you get more movement? Finding your center. Now, might be a little difficult on the phone, but we're going to give it a go. Oh, that actually worked pretty well. I'm going to take my left leg and kind of crisscross it over so that my left ankle is on top of my right knee, give or take. From there, I'm going to do my rocking forward and back. Now remember, if you can't quite get your leg in this orientation, you can move the left ankle down the leg. You can have that leg propped up on something. Maybe it is a chair, maybe it is a table. Or you can just go into some rocking. You can think back to last week's practice. What might be the most important portion of this exercise? That's allowing the sit bones, the pelvis, to feel wide in the chair. It's to feel more or less equally weighted into both butt cheeks. So I'm just going to rock, just going to move. And then I'm going to set that leg down, and I'm going to pick the other one up and do the other side. Now, this side is undoubtedly different on your body, and that's okay. Two sides of our bodies are not meant to be identical. You are undoubtedly either right-handed or left-handed. You are undoubtedly either right or left foot dominant. Most people are. And so your body organizes around that dominance. What we're looking for is harmony between the two sides. A friend of mine used to say the two sides of your bodies are not identical. They're just siblings. And so they belong to the same unit, but they need to be treated differently. So how does this leg, what's the rocking, what is the orientation that needs to happen over here in order for both sides to feel like they belong, to feel greeted, to feel taken care of in the way that they need to be taken care of? Just a little rocking. And then relax. From there, I'm going to transition up into a standing, and we're going to make this work. So I'm going to take my chair, and I'm going to look at the front edge of the chair here. And then I'm going to have both hands on my chair. I'm going to come a little forward here. And I'm going to press, and I'm going to round my back and let my head drop. And then lift my head and lift my tailbone. It's a cat-cow. Then I'm going to go to the back of my chair. And I'm going to let my legs be at least as wide as the chair, if not wider. I'm going to rock to the right and rock to the left. Now, as I go to the right, and let my right knee bend and kind of lunge down into that stretch, and vice versa. Go to the left, bend my left knee, lunge down into that. And then both legs are going to come more or less underneath the hips. So they're about one of your foot distance apart from each other. It's going to be a different size or different width on everybody. Some people it's about 4 inches, some people it's 6 inches, about hip distance. From there, I'm going to let my hands be on the back of the chair, and I'm going to make my back relatively flat, not rounded, not arched, relatively flat. I'm going to think wide sit bones, and I'm going to push my heels into the ground. Undoubtedly, you start to feel a little bit of a hamstring stretch. For some of us, that's enough. It's like right there, I'm good. If you want more, bring your hands to the front edge of your chair, like the arms on your chairs. Start to bend your elbows and go deeper into that stretch, and then back up. Again, it's all about ergonomics. It's all about the shape your body is taking in the moment, meaning feet underneath my hips, driving my heels into the ground, knees soft but straight, hips wide, tailbone up, back flat. And I'm hinging at the hip joints and back up. I'm not rounding my back. I'm not moving forward or back. I'm just going down and back up. Now, if you've got a lot of flexibility, you might want to bring your hands down into your seat and get a little more. And then release. Go back to the front edge of your chair. If this works for you, wonderful. If not, you can organize this or shift this practice to being up against a wall, up against a counter, whatever it is. Arms are going to be straight. You're going to walk back into a relative plank position. Holding there, you can hold that plank. You can do some like little baby push-ups. Your little baby push-ups could be bigger push-ups. Again, you can do this up against a wall. It works just fine. Whatever you're doing, do like 3 or 4 more. And release. Standing up, you're just going to jiggle. When we do that sort of calisthenic exercise, like a push-up, it's the blood flowing. It's like a wake up, right? We spend a lot of time calming and moving and stretching, and then most of us have the rest of the day to get to. So doing something like the push-up or a squat mixed with some jiggling prepares the body, gets it ready for the rest of the day. And back to your chair. Finishing off is kind of sitting, being with whatever it is you feel. And maybe there's some like gentle hula hoops or circular action. Almost like we calmed and we got a little excited. And now we're finding center, finding balance. Quiet that down. One big breath. We made it through. We got through it. Thank you for joining, even if it is on the phone, even if it is one of those Wednesdays. We have one of these every once in a while. They just happen. I can't see if there's any questions. Well, let me see if I can get into the chat. No. It works as long as we get to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for all that. Alicia, Raymond, I don't know if you have any announcements to come on and make or anything to cover there. If not, we'll see y'all on Friday. See y'all on Friday for another Adjusting to Change toolkit. This week, we will be working on building capacity. We will be working on like, how do we get more tolerant, more resilient? So if that's of interest to you, maybe join us on Friday at the same time. If not, I'll see y'all soon. Bye, everybody.